0 Degrees is not going to be a puzzle platformer that will change your life forever, but I thoroughly enjoyed playing it, albeit as a simple puzzle platformer that took me about an hour and 20 minutes to complete. The game is available on consoles, not on PC at the moment, but East Asia Soft normally get their stuff onto PC eventually too. The game is also, I think, a good gem for retro game players who enjoy that late 80s, early 90s style of puzzle platforming, where you just have single screen levels and you've got to get from entry to exit using just a couple of simple mechanics that are easy to pick up and easy to master. With 0 Degrees, that mechanic is laying ice blocks. And so at the beginning of the game, beginning of each level, you get 5 blocks. And you can lay them however you want. So it could be that you lay them so that you create a tower underneath you so that you can then get over high cliffs. It could be that you've got spikes in front of you and you need to kind of aim them with the cursor. And you can see that cursor moving around on the screen. You are changing the aim of that. Later on, it then starts to become the thing where you need to fire a block to turn on switches or to lay it on a switch so that it keeps doors open so that you can then run through them. 0 Degrees has a lot of that early on. Where it starts to get harder in the last 10 levels or so is that it also gives you a freeze mechanic. And this is where you're having to cross caverns. And what you'll be doing is firing these blocks up onto the ceiling. And as they drop down, freezing them so that you can create your own platforms to cross the cavern in front of you. And I thought that was a really cool mechanic. It's well implemented. Because it's so arcadey in 0 Degrees, wherever you kind of point your cursor to aim the block with, it will fire off all guns blazing, but as soon as it hits something even tangentially, it's like a complete stop and drop. So don't expect half measures where a block will bounce off of anything. It will just hit and slide down into doom. The same can be said for your character too. There's a little bit of cheesing, which is what I call it anyway, that you can do with some of the jumps here, where you can kind of teeter on the edge of just being able to get over a ledge. And if you kind of press the D buttons or D-pad buttons enough, it will kind of flip you on over the top. And I was like, I don't know if I was supposed to make that jump, but I've done it now. But the same can be said with landing on ice blocks as well. Sometimes I found there was a little bit of an aftertouch, as if when you land on something, you kind of slide a little bit off and it will send you plummeting to your doom. So I took the happy cheese with the sad cheese and just thought, do you know what? It is what it is. This is particularly tricky when you're basically building towers of blocks underneath yourself, because they don't stack very well and they start to wobble around. So you have to be quick and precise. And where you aim that cursor, because your blocks come out with such force, really determines where you're going to fly off to afterwards. The game itself, though, very simple, very fun. Aesthetically, now this might just be me, but this main character looks identical to a 1980s NES game called Ice Climbers. And now in that game you kind of move around and you are going up levels, trying to bash through blocks and then jump up and move around and avoid seals. The gameplay isn't totally similar, but the two characters look identical. When I saw the trailer for this, everyone was going, Celeste, Celeste, and I was like, no, Ice Climbers. Clearly showing my age. But yeah, this one, it's not going to change your life. It's well put together, it works well, it does what it says on the tin. It is short, and I did find that the difficulty curve really only came in those last 10 levels where you're having to shoot the blocks and freeze them. But yeah, really simple game, good for retro gamers. Written review will be over on higherplayinggames.com. Until then, you guys take care and give us a thumbs up if you found this review useful. Cheers. Bye-bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.